I just ask that maybe this shirt, what color is this, or which color is this. So when they tell me, the next time I take it, I know that yes, this is the dress I want to wear.
Wow, and that's amazing for somebody who's visually impaired. And I mean, certainly you can tell yellow, shirt from a blue shirt and all of that. It's amazing. We want you to let us into your world this evening.
Well, each dress is different. In as much as the texture may feel the same, the way maybe it's designed is also different. Okay. So I don't know any dress that I have that maybe I'll say that these are equal or they are the same. So I can't differentiate between them.
You can?
Yes, I can. Wow. I can differentiate each dress that I have.
So with your flying ties and all of that?
Yes.
Amazing. Wow. Well, this evening we're celebrating you, and once again, congratulations. You won an award, recently at the Radio and TV Awards, and of course, it's in order. We say congratulations, you've made us all proud. And when I look at you, I mean, I see you on television, I'm like, wow, I just can't, turn it off. I want to see how you go through it. Tell me, how are you able to go through it smoothly and you're able to deliver with that smile and that people are out there watching Paul Anomakodie?
Yeah, it's really by the grace of God. Reading of Braille normally is a bit slower.
Okay.
So if you're not careful, you may miss your lines. And sometimes when you miss it, it becomes very bad to locating where you were. But I think that it is by the grace of God that is a talent that He's given me, and it's something that I'm passionate about. I really feel happy when I read the news and people meet you and say, "Oh, that was great," or I was really encouraged, or something like that. So I really like reading the news.
Wow. We'll get into it, whether it's been a childhood dream and what you are living now, or you got into it by chance or accident. We'll get to find out. But it's amazing, and I just can't believe it. You were coming into the studio, you made your way. When I started speaking to you, I said, "Welcome, boss. You're welcome to the show." And to Joy FM, said, "Bola, how are you doing?" How are you able to do that? Were you listening? You can tell from the voice, or what is it?
Yes, when you get familiar with the voice, you definitely know whom you're talking to. But sometimes some of the voices, they go so long, and sometimes if you are not careful, you wouldn't be able to identify.
Okay.
But I'm sure that as for you, Bola, there's no one in this world, even if the person can see or not, I'm sure if the person even asleep and hears your voice, you are all over the country, so you can easily be recognized.
Good to know. And now we're glad to have you, hosting you as my first guest for 2014. I know a lot of things are going to come out this year. Greater stuff, and that I can assure you, 2014 will be well. We want to hear your inspiring story today, never been told anywhere, and we want to go all out. It's a no-holds-barred interview. We're going to have a fun time right here. That I can assure you, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Are you ready for the roller coaster ride? Sure. Tell us about growing up. I mean, who is Paul Anomakodie? Where were you born? Who are your parents?
Well, I was born in a little village at Sekyere Odumase in the Ashanti Region called Drobong, to Mr. Anthony Anomakodie. He was working with GCB, that's the Circle branch, but he's now retired. And my mother is Juliana Anthony Anomakodie, and they popularly call her Antinimo. My father really came to Accra somewhere 1992, and 2 years later we joined him here in Accra. That's me, my father, and my mother and my other siblings joined him here
in Accra. All right, but we'll talk about growing up. But then you lost your sight at age 4. It means that, yes, I mean, you weren't born with it, you weren't born visually impaired. Tell us about it. Those times, yes, you could see anything in this world and you could appreciate it, you could tell. Tell us about those, moments before things changed for you.
Well, I remember when I was a kid, I used to see things. So wherever you send me, or like I was just a normal kid, so nothing was wrong.
You're still normal, my brother.
Yes, it is. I am normal. But when I was around 4 or 5 years old, I suffered from measles. And so my sight began failing me. So my parents decided taking me from hospital to hospital. That was when I was in my hometown, Sekyere Odumase. But when it came to Accra, we decided going to hospital, and surprisingly, including prayers, so that
you're taken to prayer camps.
Prayer camps to ensure that, you know, in our parts of the world, sometimes disability is even seen as the work of the devil, and so people will give you all sort of ideas. Oh, it might be a curse, maybe the devil. So we also went for some prayers. And Bola, just to let you know, I'm not alone in my family. My elder brother, whom I followed directly, is also visually challenged. So when he was born, according to my parents, he was born when my mother was on her way to the hospital. So I think it might have been a blood sin. So both of us, including my mother, were moving from hospital to hospital and from prayers to prayers till a doctor finally referred us to school for the Blind Akropong.
And in all of this, what was Mom telling you, the two of you? I mean, I know, but in some very, I mean, poor woman in quotes, you know, looking at the state in which she was, and 2 children, visually challenged, and moving from one place to the other. Young as you were then, what was she telling you? What was she telling you? I mean, daily you have to move from one prayer camp to the other, maybe hospital to another. How was it like? What was she telling you, that it shall be well and that you regain your sight? What was it?
Definitely, that's what she kept on saying, that we shouldn't worry, it shall be well. And so she just gave us the hope to believe that there's going to be something good coming out of it. But what I'm glad for is when we're finally referred to school for the blind, for instance, when our rent time was due at the time. And you know, renting in Accra, the landlady wouldn't even accept 1 year in advance. And my dad made a passionate appeal, a promise he and my mom kept faithfully, that even if it's left with only 1 shirt of his, he's going to sell it for us to be able to get the best education. And that has seen me through up to this time.
In our parts of the world where many, like you said, will say, well, it's the work of the devil, it's a curse, and that they will abandon such children. What made your parents, you know, go out there and say, we will hold on to our kids? What were they telling you? For you, as a little boy who could see at a point, your sight failed. I mean, you couldn't see. Were you asking questions? What sort of questions did you ask your parents?
Well, at the time, I wasn't that old, but sometimes you wonder, why is it that this person can see and why can't I see? Why has this happened to me this way or that way? But for me, I don't know. I wouldn't say I've been very strong from the beginning. My sight has not really been a bother so much to me. Perhaps if sometimes I worry about my sight, then it's the people around me. Because if somebody treats me as his colleague and sees me as a normal human being who could do everything, then I don't see why I should be worried about losing my sight. But sometimes when you are discriminated against, when people think that you don't deserve certain things or deserve to be at a certain place because you have such a challenge, when you did not, excuse me to say, take money to go and buy that kind of disease, then sometimes it's worrying.
It's worrying.
Yes.
And I know there are many times that you're broken down, and maybe, of course, you share those experiences or moments with us that you ask yourself questions. And has there been any time that you've questioned God, that why this?
Well, like I indicated, sometimes it's difficult to think about that. Why everybody is doing this, why can't I also do that? But my sight, like I said earlier, has not really been a hindrance or a bother to me. Especially growing up, and I saw that I was schooling, and I felt that I was also going to be just like everybody is doing. Except that sometimes you feel, you dream that, for instance, I'm sure we all remember that when we were kids, we were taught, when I grow, I shall be a carpenter, or when I grow, I shall be this or I shall be that.
That's right.
But when you are visually challenged, sometimes when you say, when I grow, I shall be a pilot, then something comes on your mind. Have you seen a blind man as a pilot before? You want to be a broadcaster or a newscaster, you can't see. How are you going to read that?
That's right.
So those things may come in your mind.
Do you nurture that dream of one day piloting a plane? And do you still have that? Who knows? I mean, with Braille, anything can happen. Now you read the news on television.
Yes, but actually, being a pilot has not actually been part of my
It has been part, okay.
But I'm sure that it has been part of some, it has been maybe on the minds of some other visually challenged person. But the question is, how?
Wow, interesting. And loving every bit of this interview, I must admit. Let's talk about Mampong School for the Blind. You entered age what?
Yes, School for the Blind, Akropong.
Yes.
I entered around age 13. 14, yes.
You speak so well. Is it that the foundation is good? Did you go to any preparatory schools before Mampong School for the Blind? And your diction is just
Thank
amazing.
you very much, Bola. But I have been a typical local person or a typical village person. And in my house, we don't speak English. We mostly speak Twi. And where I started schooling was just a very typical village school before I moved to Accra and then going to School for the Blind. But in School for the Blind too, you are trained very well. Just like any other school, you have to learn, and the teachers are also dedicated in teaching. You know, sometimes you are asked, you don't have to speak Twi or any local language here. Yes, and we fall sometimes adhere to it, sometimes we go against it. So, well, I think that is by the grace that I'm able to speak this.
How was life, back then at Mampong School for the Blind? Like, walk us through a normal day. I mean, you wake up on, what time? What do you have to go through? Do you go to the washroom or the bathroom yourself? Do you take your shower all by yourself? How is life there? Like?
Yeah. The Akropong School for the Blind, during the time that was 90s, the 94s, 95, 96, the place was very cold. The weather was very cold. I'm sure these days it's still there, but I don't think it was as cold as those days. So when you wake up in the morning, you have to, if the tap is not flowing, sometimes the tap flows, but if it's not, then you have to move down where we have a
stream?
A borehole.
Okay, a borehole.
A borehole. So you join the queue, you fetch your water, you carry
and you fetch it all by yourself.
All yourself.
How's the training like at the Akropong School for the Blind? Yes.
You are trained to be on your own, so that when you leave there, you'll be able to do everything for yourself. So that place, no one is there to do anything for you, except the little ones. It's from nursery to.
Oh,
GHS.
They have a nursery there.
Yes.
Okay.
So kids as old as 5, 4, 6. For those ones, we have house mothers who will take care of them. But if you are around 10 and above, you have to find your own way out, going to fetch water, taking your bath, and doing everything. We sweep our own rooms and
you sweep.
Oh yes, when you go to School for the Blind, we sweep our own rooms.
Did you see that as a form of punishment, or you said, well, we can do it? So why would you see that, okay, there's a letter here, I have to do this? Walk us through it. It's amazing. God is great.
God is indeed great, but it is not really a punishment. We did not see it as a punishment. We saw it as a training.
Great.
So that from there, you'll be able to live on your own. I'm sure that right now, if I'm in my own home and I'm not living with anybody, I'm not expecting anybody to come and sweep my room or my house for me. I should be able to.
Can you cook?
Do that. Oh yeah, many blind persons are able to cook very well. Let me put it very well. But
your favorite food?
It depends on where I am. When I'm home with my parents, I prefer fufu and palm nut soup.
Really? And
yes,
you can do
but
that?
when I visit friends, I prefer banku and maybe gravy or something like that.
Right, but with the fufu and all of that, you can do the soup, you can do palm nut soup?
No, for me, I learned how to cook at the university. And mostly I could prepare my stew and some rice or yam and other stuff. But like I indicated, there are visually impaired persons, especially the ladies. They do their own things. They cook. They can cook anything, stirring of banku or anything. They can do everything.
And you can wash.
Oh yes, everybody washes his or her own clothes. We go and dry it on a line. We have a line, but everybody can go and take his or her own dresses without
any assistance?
Picking that of anybody. No assistance at all. If you've been able to wash it and dry it, then you should be able to go and pick them.
I love your sense of humor in all of this, you know. Yes.
So you are trained. You are trained to be on your own, and so that when you find yourself at a certain place, you wouldn't always rely on people to do things for you.
And Paul, help us. So you were in a dormitory, so you knew where your trunk, was, and of course your bed. You can make your way and go and sleep on your bed comfortably, right?
Definitely. You know where your bed is. So when you are in, say, house 1 or house 2 or house 3, I was in house 3. I learned the naming has changed a bit these days, but you know where it is. You go there when you know where your room is. When you go initially, especially the adults, when you go initially, they have mobility. Some people will help you, especially those who are old before they go there. But if you're a bit young, you go, you make friends, and friends will take you around, so that when it's dining time, your friend will say, "Oh, let's go." So he has been there for some time. Your friend might have been there for some time. So he will show you a way out. So he walk with you for some time, and within few days
you get to know the route.
Find your way out. Because if you don't find your way, nobody will have the time for you. Just like every school.
Don't you run into each other? Don't you maybe at the entrance, or when you're going into your bed and you get somebody just by your bed and you have to knock into each other? No.
Sometimes
there's order.
It happens. Sometimes it happens that when you're walking, you'll bump into each other. That one, sometimes it happens, but not very frequent.
Okay.
So if you don't know that somebody is there and maybe the person is quiet, it's most likely maybe you can bump into that person. If the person also does not hear.
So you are the boys' dormitory and the girls'
dormitory. I remember sometimes when somebody is in a hurry to go somewhere, the person is rushing. The person will say, "I'm coming home, Mikitan Suoshie." Like the person will tell you, "I'm holding hot water, so excuse me." So
and you cannot ascertain or tell whether it's hot water and it's boiling hot. Yeah.
But sometimes the person is really in a hurry to go and do something, so he just wants you to clear the way for him or her to find his way.
How is it like in the classroom? I mean, yes, you have the boys, you have the girls, you have the men, you have the women. How is it like, Paul?
Well, it's just like a normal classroom. We have teachers who are visually challenged, and we have teachers who can also see. So when it's time for the subject, they come around and they do their own teaching.
Also, you have teachers who are visually challenged. Yes, and they
at School for the Blind, and in many other sighted schools. Also, we have persons with visual impairment who are teachers. I was, for instance, was trained as a teacher or an educationist at the University of Cape Coast.
And you had some of your mates, so you know them by names now. When you run into them, you know, okay, so this is Ajwa, this is Ifwa, you can tell, right?
Oh yes. I mean, each stage, being it School for the Blind, being it Okuapeman or UCC, definitely you have friends, and when you meet them, you'll be able to know that I schooled with this person here or there. Wow.
We're going to talk, some more. But you remember your anthem back at the School for the Blind, you had an anthem?
Yes, we do have an anthem.
Yes.
But
help us with that. What's the anthem? I know that you bring back memories. I mean, your mates who are listening and those who are in the school and the headmasters and teachers out there are so proud of you. Would love to hear your anthem. Maybe a line or two would do.
Yes, Bola.
Yes, Paul.
Let me just think about this. Let's go and ask the interview progresses.
You'll come back.
Try and
yes, but so what? I mean, like you're saying, co-educational. You had ladies in there, and the guys were there. You had a girlfriend back then, right? Interesting. What was her name?
Oh,
you fancied her. I mean, I know. Yeah, you moved on. But
which stage are you talking about?
Well, a baby from school for the blind.
Yes,
yes,
school for the blind.
A lot of affection for her. What's her name?
No, but
how are you able to tell that this is my lady? You know that I fancy. How are you able to tell?
Let me put it this way:
yes.
that once you have your friends, and definitely.
There'll be one special one.
You may have attraction to someone else, and you know, School for the Blind is just GHS and primary.
Okay.
So love affairs, I wouldn't say it was very
secondary school was where? Okuapeman. So it was Okuapeman that you met that special one, right? Which
Bola,
form?
Bola.
Yes, Paul. You know, tell me, which form? Was it Form 2? Was it Form 3 when you were the senior? What was it?
When I got a girlfriend? Well, somebody that I had an affection for wasn't really a student there.
Oh.
And she was staying around. And we happened to just be in love for a while.
So that was an exter. You didn't do inter.
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't an inter. It was an exter.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how were you able to tell Paul that yes, I know from her voice and everything? Were there any times that a person can pose as your lady and you know you just will hug and how will you tell?
Well, not that if maybe somebody may hug you without talking, but if you are familiar with the person, when you hold the person, you know the height of the person, you know the palm, whether it's hard or soft or that kind of thing. So, you know all those things. Yeah. So you'll be able to tell that somebody has.
This is a different girl.
This is the person, or that is the person who is trying to do this or trying to do that.
Interesting. Well, we'll go for a short break. But tell us, what kind of music do you love to listen to?
I am a local man, or a local boy, but when it comes to foreign music, I love country music.
Country music, but here in Ghana, I mean, tell us what some of the tunes that you love to listen to. I mean, local music, as you put it.
Yes, sometimes I'm a bit selective. I can enjoy some hip life, some high life.
Who's your favorite hip life artist?
Maybe Obrafo.
Obrafo. Why Obrafo?
Well, I like most of his songs, especially the song that he played with Sekyere.
Okay. Oh, you love that?
Yeah, I love it so much. And it advises people maybe to be humble,
That's
not
right.
to raise yourself to some extent. So I just love it. I just love the tune and the way they combined singing such a song.
All right. Well, let's see what we can do, and let's see what we can play for you as we'll try and pull a track from Obrafo right here on the show. He calls this one Beshe. I believe you've heard this before.
Yes.
You know any of the lines?
No, this
okay, put on the headphones and then let's see what we can do. Challenge newscaster with ETV, and we're so proud of him. Of course, we believe that dream big, go on to achieve your dream. Let's talk about life at University of Cape Coast. Which hall were you in?
I was in Casford. I'm a
Casfordian.
Yeah.
Casford, raise your body.
Yes.
And you are the superpower. Yes. Okay, superpower. Tell us about life at the University of Cape Coast.
Well, life at the University of Cape Coast, you know, apart from School for the Blind and Okuapeman, university is really a very big compound. So sometimes finding your way is a bit difficult, finding different lecture theaters, because you don't go to the same lecture theatres. Each day they keep on changing and all those things.
And no assistance? You're able to go?
Yes, so when you go at the beginning, then it means that you have to let somebody help you asking around, just like anybody will ask around. So, and let me say that you have people also assisting you. Once they see that you are visually challenged, they will come to you and help and say, maybe where are you going? And if you are lucky, he says, I'm also going to the same place, so we go together. So sometimes you search, but when you find, you know the lecture theatre for the term, after some time, then you'll be able to go on your own without any assistance. So that was how we were doing, and mostly we record our lectures because we do not have the pamphlets and the textbooks in Braille. So when the lecturer comes, we record most of these. We record the lecture, and then later we play and listen. Or we also find some of our friends who read some of these textbooks on tape, textbooks for us, so that we will be able to. So
that's how you were able to go through it?
Yes, that's how we were able to.
What did you read at University of Cape Coast?
I did Bachelor of Arts Education.
Okay.
So, is an educationist. So maybe I could have gone to teach or be at the GES office or do similar things.
So tell us, what inspired you to become a news anchor, to get into broadcasting?
Broadcasting actually has been my childhood dream. Always when I listen to people read the news, I really love it, and I loved listening to Joy those days. So when I hear them read the news, I say I felt like I want to be part of this. And I see broadcasting as a service to a community or a nation, because you serve a number of people at the same time. And I feel that there's joy in it when you tell somebody something that a person has not heard before. So you break the news and a person, wow, is that what is going on? You inform somebody and the person becomes happy or educated. And these are some of the things that made me feel like being part of journalism. And I also felt that sometimes persons with disabilities are not represented well in the media, because somebody will try to talk about persons with disabilities, and sometimes the person do not really know. They do you know maybe blind persons, they are like this. Meanwhile, the person is just sharing his own opinion that may not necessarily be
represent
the issue. So I felt that if I'm also part of this,
getting there make a difference.
Help, yes, educate people also.
Impressive. We'll be activating the phone line, so you out there can join us at 0302-216-541 as we celebrate one great man on Joy 99.7 FM. Paul Anomakodie is our personality here on Joy. Many are joining us on Facebook. Amazing comments, great comments coming up. But this one says it's from Prince Amwa Robinson. Says, great program, Bola. Keep it up, and I salute Paul. Wow. You're so great. Keep it up. Bola, this is the chap that came to see you this afternoon. Hey, I'm inspired by this man. He has it all. That's from Umana Moses. Kweku Ejakwasapon says, great guy indeed, Bola. I must admit, I'm enjoying this interview. It's the best so far. Keep it up, Paul. We support you. Listen, I ask myself, what can I use my ability to see and do for mankind? He's blessed. Wow. And that's what is actually trending, is on Facebook and Twitter as well. You can join us on WhatsApp, and you can call 0302-216-541 here on Joy 99.7 FM. You can also come through with your comments. We're just waiting for that to happen here on Personality Profile on Joy FM. So tell us about it. University of Cape Coast, there you got another girlfriend, or the same girlfriend that you got there? How's your love life like? Tell us.
Well, I've not had a very romantic love life, but at the University of Cape Coast too, I happen to had another one.
Hey, life is good.
Bola.
Yes.
Bola. Yeah, so I happen to had another one, but
are you together, or you?
We are no more together.
No
more together with her.
You have another one. When are you going to get married, by the way?
Well, it's my hope that I get married in 2015.
2015?
Yes.
Oh man, that's next year.
Yes.
Wow. So who's this special lady in your life?
Well, for now, it is my hope that if there's somebody, by that time, the person might have been confirmed. If there's no one else, it's my hope that by then I might have found her.
I love that. So, I mean, what is it? You guys, you go out to places. Well, tell us about how you guys, you get to go out to do what? I mean, you're dating, is a special person. Tell us some of the things that you engage in. I know.
Well, like I indicated, if there's somebody, then I hope to confirm her by 2015.
What kind of marriage are you looking at? A white wedding? Are you going to the traditional marriage, and that is it? What is it that you?
Yeah, I think the traditional is very important every home. So that one, it should be part of it. And it may also depend on what the lady wants.
Okay.
Whether the person wants a big wedding, big.
What kind of lady are you looking for? What kind of lady do you like?
I mean, everybody will say a lady who is loving, caring, but I don't really have a preference when it comes to, say, tribe or stature or that kind of thing. But I wish that I have somebody of my stature anyway.
Okay.
Not somebody bigger or smaller than I am.
Do you want them fair, dark?
Oh, that one too doesn't count.
It doesn't count that much. Okay.
But I need somebody who could read to me.
Okay.
For instance, if there's something that I want the person to do for me, the person who can do that.
Career-wise, would you want to marry somebody who's in the same field as you are, or you want maybe a doctor, a lawyer?
Bola, our kind of job sometimes. Somebody comes to work in the morning, but comes in the night. So it's a bit difficult to have somebody in the same profession. I would have wished that I have a teacher or some other profession which is less stressful, so that at least the person can take care of the home. How
many kids do you want to have?
Well, as
many
as perhaps 4, 5, 6, 7.
You'll be a busy man.
No matter what you hold on tight, so when you see the light.
And that's one of your favorite tunes right here from Obafo and Sekyere. Well, we have a caller on the line. Hello, good evening, and you're most welcome. And who's there? Hello? Michael, and you're calling from?
I'm calling from Tema.
From Tema. Good evening and many thanks for your time. Paul is our special guest here on Joy FM.
Okay. Hi, Paul. Hi.
Hi, Michael.
Not too sure if you recall me, but I was in the same school with you at Okuapeman. We actually were in the same house, the Champon house.
Oh, okay. Maybe, perhaps we might have had a lot of Michaels, but I'm sure the voice already sounds a bit familiar.
Bonari, I say that you're trying to understand how he's able to differentiate.
That's right.
Flying types. Let me give you an experience that happened in school. I'm not too sure if Paul himself would remember, but when we were both in first year, the final year tried playing a trick on Paul. It was one Saturday he was sitting, in the Champon house. We have this big rock in the middle of the house where we usually do all our washing. So I recall he was sitting there washing, and then they silently dropped a singlet into the bucket he was washing. Amazingly, he washed every single thing. When he got to that singlet, he tapped it and threw it out of the
Really?
Like, what he would like to be considered realistically in maybe the disability bill. What really does he think that should be considered in it?
Great question. Thank you very much. Yes, Paul.
Oh, well, okay. First of all,
remarks,
yes, I think that for me, I don't mind that much. But like somebody would say, disability is an open club. Anyone can join at any time. And so whilst you are making such a remark, just remember, if you were you, would you want to be treated that way? I don't these days mind when people make such comments or something like that, but I think that sometimes it only embarrasses you. You are in the middle of your friends, your colleagues, and then maybe somebody makes such a comment. Everybody laughs, and you don't know whether to laugh or to what to do. Then you are kind of embarrassed. So I don't care what people will say. Now, what I care about is to be able to move on in life and inspire others to also to move on. But as to what I also want done, for me, I'm more concerned about employment for persons with disabilities and also people who beg on the streets. I feel very saddened when I see people begging on the street because those people have parents. They live in a community and they live in a nation. So it is my wish that something could be done about this, so that these people are taken from the street, standing in the sun, begging, and it's very uncomfortable. When you are also there, people think that mostly people make sweeping statements or sweeping comments. They feel that everybody is the same. So even if you are asking somebody for assistance, the person thinks that you are going to beg. So I think that something should be done so that people on the street will be taken out there from there. And also, people should do their best to employ persons with disabilities.
Great. We have a call online. A lot of calls are coming through. Hello and welcome. Good evening, Lokman. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing well. First, I would like to wish you a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Many happy returns, boss.
Yes. Yeah, good evening to your wonderful resource person. You know, the day that I saw him on ETV, on news, most of the time I started monitoring the station to just listen to him.
Wow.
Wonderful. You know, Mr. Bola, we have so many physical challenges in this country who have so much knowledge and they are very, very intelligent. We thank God that Mr. Paul's parents was very, very supportive. Some others, they don't have that support.
Right.
What are we doing to help those people?
What are we doing to help such people? Yes. Paul.
Yes, I think that parents should take up the responsibility of educating their parents. Like the comment I gave, take up the responsibility of educating their children. Like I indicated, my parents were not rich people, but to have the mind that even if it's left with one share of mine, I'm going to sell it for you to go to school. I think if every parent of persons with disabilities will do same, we wouldn't have people on the street, and we'll have educated persons with disabilities, and they'll be able to go to school and work.
Great. We have a call online as well. As you join us on 0302-216-541. I reckon this will be our last one. Hello.
Yes, hi.
Yes, good evening and welcome. Your name?
My name is Trisha from Sekyere.
All right, Trisha, you're on air.
Well, I might say I'm really impressed, and there should be example to see that we are not blind. If a blind mind has made it, then what are you sitting?
What is our excuse, right? Okay.
Be on your feet, be bold, and do something for yourself. Okay, Patricia, thank you very much. And now, as we move on, tell us if you have any wish, what would that be?
If I have a wish,
if you have to make a wish, just one wish,
I would wish that the purpose for which God created each person will be fulfilled.
Your best holiday destination?
Well, perhaps Italy.
Why? Why Italy?
Oh, I have read some books about, for instance, when you read a book like Angels and Demons, you look at the picture that they give. I would like to go to Rome and see all those areas, the Vatican,
right.
Those buildings and all that. I would love to be there.
Wow, isn't that interesting? And your favorite hangouts? Where will we catch you? I mean, having a good time if you are not at work.
Bola,
yes.
I don't really go out that much, but maybe I like going to the Silver Bed movies.
Movies?
Yes, Silverbed. Yeah.
Silverbed movies?
Yes.
To watch what?
Well, to watch some movies.
Really?
If you are with somebody.
So they tell you about it?
Yes, people will tell you about it. But let me say that some persons with visual impairment really enjoy movies. And
How?
They enjoy TV. Though I have not really been a TV person.
Okay.
Yeah, but people really love TV and they enjoy it. So when I say I don't really love TV that much, people think that, it's because I'm visually impaired. Not at all.
Okay.
It's just a preference. I just love listening to radio.
Love to listen to radio. If we should make you an offer to work with us here at Joy FM and of course with ETV, would you accept that? I'll push that for you.
Bola.
Yes, sir.
I think that
let's start 2014 on a very wonderful
I really appreciate Global Media Alliance for giving me the opportunity. Mr. Edward Boateng, Ernest Boateng, Elvis Omane,
we salute them. They are visionaries.
They've really assisted me, and
God bless them.
As I indicated at the beginning of my news, normally somebody has to read for me to write. But Mr. Boateng said, no, what can we do? Mr. Edward Boateng especially said, what can we do? And he got me a machine, and now...
A braille?
Yes. What? Now I only need the script on a pen drive. I put it on it, and
there you go.
And read.
My brother, thank you very much. And 2015, count me as a guest at your wedding.
Thank you very much.
We'll meet there. My brother, thank you very much, and God bless us.
Bola.